Dallas is not the same Dallas from last year or the year before that. So we knew that it was going to be tough. I want to point out just a few things, keeping some things in perspective. And I also want to show you a few highlights. There are lots of highlights. Can't show them all. But let's first start with some perspective. This is the first game. Indiana did not come out on top of this home opener, season opener.
That's the face of someone who knows exactly what just happened. Indiana Fever drops their season opener to Dallas Wings, 107-104. 3-point loss. And before you start spiraling, before the hot takes flood your timeline, let's talk about what actually went down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Mother's Day. Because this wasn't a collapse. This wasn't a disaster. This was a team missing 2 starters, playing with restricted minutes on a third, and still nearly stealing a win against a Dallas team that shot 59% from the field. 59%. That's not a number you see often in professional basketball.
Indiana only lost by 3 points, 104-107. And we, meaning, when I say we, I know I'm talking about Indiana, because I identify as a member of the Fever. No, I love the team. So we just comes out naturally. But we didn't have Mo Billings. We lost by only 3. We didn't have Mo Billings, who is a great screener and shoots like 80-something% from like 3 feet from the basket. AB, another starter. She was on minutes restriction. And we know Aaliyah did not play in the first game or the second game of the preseason and played only 10 minutes in the third game, the final game against Nigeria.
Here's what the box score tells you. Indiana put up 104 points in their first game, shot 52% from the field. Their big 3, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Caitlin Clark, combined for 73 points. Mitchell dropped 30, Boston had 23, Clark finished with 20. And they did this without Nalissa Smith, who didn't play at all. Without Aaliyah Boston at full strength, she was on minutes restriction. Without Lexi Hull, who also had limited minutes after missing the entire preseason. That's 3 players who either start or could start for this team, all compromised. And they lost by 3 points. Not 13, not 23. 3.
30 from Kelsey, 23 from Aaliyah, 20 from Caitlin. And we didn't even really shoot. Like Kelsey and Caitlin didn't shoot well from 3. I mean, Kelsey did shoot 50% from the field, but Caitlin didn't shoot a great percentage and really didn't get going until the second half. And so when you consider all that, and we only lost by 3, and we had a chance to tie it, 2 chances to tie it, it was ours to take control of. And when I look at all that, I'm not stressing out over one loss. Well, first of all, anybody who's been around sports, they're not crashing out over one loss. That's just ridiculous. But you know how it is out there.
Now let's talk about what everyone's avoiding. The offense isn't the problem. We just established that. 104 points, 52% shooting, 16 assists as a team. The Fever can score. What they cannot do right now is stop anyone. Dallas scored 107 points on 59% shooting. That's the issue. And if you watched this game, if you actually paid attention, instead of just checking the final score, you saw it over and over. Transition defense was a mess. Pick and roll defense was worse. On-ball defense was inconsistent at best. Here's how it breaks down. When your defender can't stay in front of their assignment, help defense has to rotate. When help rotates late, you're either giving up an open shot or committing a foul. Dallas got both all night. Open threes, easy drives, free throws. That's the formula for 59% shooting.
Phenomenal. Obviously, the pace at which they were playing, we were sucking air, and it takes a while to get your game lungs back. That takes some time as well. You can't reproduce that in practice. You do the best you can, but you just really can't. Congratulations to Caitlin Clark, who became the first player to, and I got my notes here because I want to get all these numbers right. She became the fastest player, I should say, in WNBA history to reach 1,000 points, 250 rebounds, and no, let me say that again. She became the fastest to reach 1,000 plus points.
But here's what gives you hope if you're a Fever fan. Aaliyah Boston looked phenomenal. 23 points, and she barely broke a sweat doing it. She's playing with a confidence we haven't seen before. That connection with Caitlin Clark is real. It's not hype, it's not preseason optimism. It's legitimate chemistry that's going to cause problems for every team they face. Watch how Boston sets up deep in the post. She's not just bigger than her defender, she's smarter. She seals them away from the basket before the ball even arrives. And when Clark delivers that pass, it's already over. Boston has that soft touch around the rim, and she's added range to her game. She hit a 3 in this game off a beautiful two-man action with Clark. The scary part, this is game 1. They're still figuring each other out. They're still building that timing, and they're already this good together.
As Sophie is heading up to the top. After the screen, Caitlin goes out to the wing. Kelsey starts the reversal. Sophie gets it at the top. AB sets another screen so Sophie can make the pass to Caitlin. Paige tries to get out, but not happening. Hand up, but CC says, I don't need a whole lot of room. Splash. Good screen action there. Now we have to take a look at this ABC squared action.
Looking into Boston. What a feed, and Boston.
What a pass. But it wasn't just.
Let's talk about the milestone nobody's discussing enough. Caitlin Clark became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 1,000 points, 250 rebounds, and 250 assists. And she did it on a gorgeous spin move in the paint, by the way. Completely appropriate for someone who changes direction faster than anyone in the league. But here's the context that makes this absurd. She didn't play last season, sat out the entire 2024 campaign. So we're talking about one full season in 2023, plus this one game, that's it. 34 games total to hit those numbers. Sue Bird didn't do it that fast. Diana Taurasi didn't do it that fast. Nobody did. And she's doing it while teams are game planning specifically to stop her, while defenses are sending 2 defenders at her in pick and roll, while she's adjusting to a faster, more physical game than college.
So listen, it's not just Indiana that needs to shore up some defense. I mean, Indiana did score 104 points off of Dallas's defense. So this was not smart on Paige's part. She goes under the screen, the AB set, a good screen, and that's a long way out. For most people, it is a long way out. But for Caitlin, it's at 32 feet. You see that right here? But Caitlin lets it fly. She can totally make that shot. Just doesn't fall. It just doesn't fall.
No!
Now, I want you to notice what she does here and how Paige, look at an acrobat. So not the best defense for Paige, really. So when Caitlin goes.
Now we need to examine the ending, because this game was there for the taking. Dallas gave Indiana a gift. Paige Bueckers, one of the most clutch players in the league, missed 2 free throws with seconds remaining. That never happens. Bueckers is an 87% free throw shooter, but she missed both, leaving the door wide open for Indiana to tie. First opportunity goes to Clark. She gets a screen from Boston at half court, and watch what Bueckers does. She goes under the screen, under. When the shooter is Caitlin Clark, when it's a 3-point game, when a 3 ties it. That's a mental mistake by an elite defender. Clark rises up from 32 feet and gets a clean look. It just doesn't fall. Second opportunity goes to Mitchell. Beautiful play design, multiple screens. She gets open on the wing. Clean look, doesn't fall either. But here's what matters. Indiana got 2 high-quality shots to tie the game in the final 10 seconds. Both were the right play. Both were well executed. Sometimes the ball just doesn't go in.
And she goes, and here comes Paige flying under the screen and jumps up in the air. And Caitlin just kind of jabs with her left foot. First, she shows the ball, lifts it up, puts it back down, jabs with her left foot. Paige is just flying like, I don't know, Peter Pan.
Clark, a 3 to tie. No!
Easily could have gone in. But the Fever gets another opportunity because they foul, and Paige has to shoot 2 free throws, and inexplicably for Paige, misses both of them, leaving the door open. Timeout called. Great play. I hear it's something the Pacers, you see from the Pacers.
The defensive breakdowns are fixable. That's the important part. Transition defense improves as players get their conditioning back, as they remember how to sprint back instead of watching the ball. Pick and roll defense improves with practice and film study. On-ball defense improves as individual defenders get their footwork right. What you can't fix is effort. You can't fix chemistry. You can't fix basketball IQ. Indiana has all 3. They just need time to clean up the details, and they forced 2 5-second violations on Dallas. 2 in one game. You almost never see one 5-second violation in a game. Teams call timeout before they let that happen. But Indiana's pressure defense forced Dallas into 2 situations where they couldn't even inbound the ball in time. That's active hands, smart positioning, and relentless energy.
Making movements. So you can see Caitlin over here. You see AB over here. Watch what happens. AB sets the screen on, that's Alana Smith. Caitlin crosses midcourt. Lexi sets the screen. You see that right here? She sets the screen to help Caitlin. And then Lexi sets another screen for Kelsey. And Aaliyah Boston also sets the screen to help Caitlin. And so Caitlin comes and sets screen. She's screening 2 people, and then Paige joins in. So in essence, Caitlin is screening 3 people. And then Aaliyah Boston sets another screen to get Kelsey open, who gets the ball and has plenty of room.
Mitchell gets a clean look.
I mean, that's just beautiful. A beautiful play. Execution, beautiful. Just didn't fall.
Hamill inbound, Fever down 3, 1.3 remaining. Mitchell gets a clean look. And that will do it.
So as you can see, a lot of good things to take from the game, and that's just a little bit of it. Defense absolutely has to be better, but let me point out something I should have pointed out before, and that is there were 2 5-second violations in this game the Fever caused Dallas to get. I don't know that I've ever seen, you hardly ever see one. I know I've seen them, but you hardly ever see one in a game. Usually the team calls a timeout before they get to 5 seconds, but 2, never seen 2, so that's good. Also, we didn't have Mo Billings, AB on a minutes restriction, Lexi on a minutes restriction. Those things different. I think the Fever wins the game. Dallas did shoot near 60%. Not often you're going to see teams do that either. So realizing that the Fever didn't have all the pieces, and even it didn't play to full potential, didn't shoot a great percentage from like Caitlin from the field and Kelsey from 3. And the team still shot 52% from the field. Nothing to worry about. First game, it's going to be all right. Probably another tough one coming up on Thursday. Kate Martin has joined the developmental pool for the Sparks, which is interesting because the Fever, Caitlin has never beaten her buddy, Kate Martin. And just before we had to play the Sparks, they add Kate Martin. Developmental pool, so not going to see any action, but could you join the team after we play the Sparks? Hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you hang out with the Adrian Ross Show for more commentary, for live streams. And I'm really excited about what we see offensively. Defensively, let's get it together. All right. And we will. I'll catch you next time, God willing.
So let's put this in perspective with everything we know. This was game 1 of an 82-game season. Indiana played without Nalissa Smith entirely. Smith is a walking double-double who sets elite screens and shoots 80% within 3 feet of the basket. That's not a role player. That's a starter who changes how defenses have to guard you. Aaliyah Boston was on minutes restriction after playing only 10 minutes total in the preseason. She played in the 3rd exhibition game against Nigeria and nowhere else. Her conditioning isn't there yet, her game legs aren't back, and she still put up 23 points and looked dominant doing it. Lexi Hall was on minutes restriction after missing every single preseason game. 0 practice time in game situations, 0 rhythm, 0 timing with her teammates. And she's someone who could start for this team, who has started for this team in the past. That's 3 players who either start or deserve starter minutes, all compromised in some way. And Indiana still scored 104 points, shot 52%, and lost by 3 to a team that shot 59%. Now think about what happens when Smith comes back. When Boston gets her full minutes and her conditioning returns. When Hull integrates back into the rotation. When the defensive schemes get tightened up through practice and film study. When Clark and Mitchell find their 3-point rhythm, because neither shot well from distance in this game. The offense is already elite. It's going to get better. The defense is the concern, but it's a fixable concern. These aren't talent problems. These aren't effort problems. These are timing problems, conditioning problems, and scheme problems. All of those improve with games played. Dallas is not the same team from last year. They're better. They've added pieces, they've improved their system, and they shot 59% at home. That's not sustainable. That's not going to happen every night. Indiana forced them into tough shots. Dallas just made them anyway. Sometimes that happens in basketball. The big three combined for 73 points. That's your foundation. That's your identity. And they did it without perfect shooting, without full chemistry, without all their pieces in place. When this team gets healthy, when the rotations get settled, when the defensive principles get drilled into muscle memory, they're going to be a problem for everyone in this league. Caitlin Clark is the fastest player ever to 1,000 points, 250 rebounds, and 250 assists. She's doing things nobody has done before. Aaliyah Boston is playing with a confidence and skill level that suggests she's about to take another leap forward. Kelsey Mitchell just dropped 30 in a season opener and looked comfortable doing it. This isn't a team that needs to panic. This isn't a roster that needs major changes. This is a squad that needs time to gel, needs their injured players back, and needs to clean up defensive rotations. That's it. Those are the problems, and none of them are unsolvable. The next game is Thursday. Another quick turnaround, another test. But this team knows what it is. They know what they're capable of. They know they nearly beat a good Dallas team while missing key pieces and playing sloppy defense. That's not a reason to crash out. That's a reason to be optimistic. So before you flood the comments with doom and gloom, before you start questioning coaching decisions or roster construction, remember what you just watched. A 3-point loss without 2 starters, with another on restrictions, against a team that shot 59%. And Indiana still had 2 clean looks to tie it in the final seconds. The offense is there, the talent is there, the chemistry is building, the defense will come. This is game 1 of a long season. And if this is what Indiana looks like at their worst, with their most compromised roster, against a hot shooting opponent, the rest of the league should be worried. What did you see in this game that I missed? Where do you think Indiana needs to improve most? And how good can this team be when everyone's healthy and the defense tightens up? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more breakdown like this all season long, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started.